If you are sitting, stand up for Diane.
Today on the Morning Edition, the Gold Nugget Triathlon is a historic event in Anchorage dedicated to improving the lives of women and girls through athletics. We'll share the story of one historic figure making it all happen. Plus, a new education center in Portage opened to help people understand why it's important to protect whales in Alaska. We'll take you there and share what those that are running it are saying. And later, this young teenager can't even drive a vehicle yet, but that didn't stop him from celebrating his birthday in the sky, taking his first solo flight after needing to get a ride to the airport before even coming to a complete stop at his first stop sign. Soaring through the skies. We'll tell you more as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Monday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. Could you imagine flying a plane before driving a vehicle?
I mean, when one door closes, another one opens. And,
Exactly.
Always got to find a way.
Well, we saw some nice sunshine this weekend.
Yeah, really, Saturday was a gorgeous day to get outdoors. And you may have noticed those trees continue to pop open, those blooms. We have been seeing some of those warmer conditions. Now this week, much like we did see last week, still favoring some cloudy conditions as well as those temperatures holding right around the lower 50s. We're currently sitting at 42 degrees in Anchorage, 44 in Juneau, and 42 in Fairbanks. You can see a good portion of the state continues to hold on to some of that cloud coverage. Now, temperature-wise, we're pretty much sitting where we have been each and every morning the last week or so, with the exception of the slope, which has seen those temperatures warm. Last week, we were seeing overnight lows dropping into the single digits. This week, you can see those overnight lows dropping into the teens and the 20s, or at least this morning. Warmest spot out towards parts of the southern panhandle, 47 degrees in Ketchikan. Now, we are watching a parent low that's out towards the Berry, and that's keeping some rain showers out towards the Bristol Bay area. We've also got a low out towards the Seward Peninsula, where we do have a winter weather advisory that is bringing some localized areas of wintry mix. And yes, we still have some rain showers that have been with us across South Central. Now, much like we saw last week, this week is going to favor, once again, coastal areas taking the brunt of the rainfall. But inland locations will still hold on to some of this spotty to isolated activity, with the best shot for rainfall for inland locations to arrive Wednesday into Thursday. Temperatures, though, still warming, upper 40s, lower 50s as we head through the afternoon hours, which is slightly cooler than what we typically see for mid to late May, as we should be seeing our highs sitting in the mid to upper 50s. Coming up in my full forecast, we'll have the latest when it comes to those breakup conditions across Alaska, as we're seeing those ice jams and flooding shifting to the west. Still holding on to those fairly cloudy skies across a good portion of the state. Of course, more rain and winds built into the Gulf Coast region. I'll have more on that in that 7-day forecast coming up.
The annual all-female Gold Nugget Triathlon took place Sunday, giving hundreds of women the chance to become triathletes. Charlie Fellows introduces us to one of its most legendary figures, passing the tradition on to the next generations.
Well, today, at my age, in the 80 age group, I'm hoping to have a good race and finish.
The story of the Gold Nugget Triathlon cannot be told without Diane Barnett. 42 years after helping to found the race, the 81-year-old is still going strong, supporting a race she loves and has watched grow.
We probably had about 400 to 300 that first year here at Bartlett, and this year you can see what we have.
And that loves her back.
If you are sitting, stand up for Diane.
Well, there was a little bit of wind out there on the bike today, but the tank trails were really good. They've widened them out, and I think the girls are going to enjoy them.
The all-woman race's stated mission is improving the lives of women and girls through athletics, a goal it achieves across generations, something Barnett can attest to.
I think as you look around, you can see it's all sizes, all ages, and once you cross that finish line, you're a triathlete, and that means a lot.
For the Barnetts and the over 1,700 others who participated physically and virtually in this year's race, obtaining that triathlete title here just means more.
Just do it. It's so awesome. I'm so proud of Jima and my daughter, and it really means a lot.
And Riley, I think, got a PR this time.
Yep, I did, and I finally beat my mom.
Memories to last and be built upon for a lifetime.
I'm hoping that maybe Riley and T will be carrying this on in the years to come, and the Gold Nugget will continue to be the oldest and largest all-women's triathlon in our nation.
Charlie Fellows, Alaska's news source.
Eagle River's Helen Wilson took the overall win this year with a time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 58 seconds. The PFD may have reached its final amount for 2026 with just days left in the current legislative session. Sunday afternoon, lawmakers pushed forward a new plan where dividend recipients would receive a $1,000 dividend and $200 energy relief rebate. The change was made in committee and passed in a 4-2 vote, increasing the rebate amount by $50 and adding millions of dollars in state expenditures. The budget will go back to the House and Senate for a final vote before ultimately reaching the governor, who can line item veto items from the budget. Santos has announced the first oil from the Pikka project, one of the newest developments on the North Slope. The Pikka Phase 1 development is expected to ramp up to 20,000 barrels per day in the next couple weeks, according to the operators, Santos is the majority owner with 51% interest, while Repsol holds the other 49%. Santos says eventually the project is expected to reach 80,000 barrels per day. It says the first revenue from the project is expected in 2 to 3 months. 2 people in Ketchikan are dead after a fire broke out at a home on Lincoln Street, and 1 firefighter was taken to the hospital. That's according to the city of Ketchikan, who has identified the people who died as Bill and Brenda Michelson. The city says a resident on the first floor of the building noticed the fire and called 911 around 2:30 Saturday morning. The firefighter was treated and released from the hospital for cardiac complaints. Alaska smoke jumpers did their first fire jump of the season in Southwest Alaska over the weekend. U.S. Wildland Fire Service says the crew of 8 was responding to a wildfire about 5 miles south of Stebbins, which is being called the Little Fire. The aircraft left from Fort Wainwright and got to the fire about 2 hours after the report. U.S. Wildland Fire Service said at that time the fire was about 10 acres. The fire grew to just under 17 acres Sunday as smoke jumper crews continue to mop it up. The Alaska Division of Forestry and Fire Protection says the Kili River fire on the Kenai Peninsula is now 75% contained. It says the fire is human-caused and it was discovered Friday evening. The fire is burning in the area of the Funny River fire from 2014, which DOF says is slowing progress due to snags and jackstraw trees. As of Sunday, the fire's size remains at 8.2 acres. Anchorage got some new visitors over the weekend dressed in orange, blue, and yellow as Southwest Airlines made its first landing at Ted Stevens International Airport on Friday. The first plane touched down at about 9:25 Friday evening, according to airport officials arriving from Denver International Airport. Passengers were welcomed by representatives of the Alaska DOT, Alaska International Airport System, and Visit Anchorage. Saturday in Fairbanks, residents and even those that protect the community were out and about picking up trash as part of Cleanup Day. Officially known as Golden Heart Cleanup Day, organizations from across the borough partner with residents to remove the trash that got buried under the snow over the long winter. Yellow bags lined roadways around the borough as people collected trash. The University Fire Department was one of the groups helping clean up the community.
When we have pockets of time, we just prioritize something and just get it done right then and there because we don't know when we'll get calls at certain times. So whenever we have the opportunity, we just try to be involved in the community, involved in keeping our station looking clean, and involved in serving anytime we can.
He says he hopes that when the public sees firefighters getting involved with cleanup efforts, it inspires them to use their spare time to do the same. The Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center just opened a new educational facility aimed at teaching the next generation of Alaskans about the marine life of Turnagain Arm. Charlie Fellows takes us to Portage to show how it's already touching hearts.
And so all of these bones are real. This individual
Lily Gerbevats and her Cook Inlet beluga whale skeleton are right in the center of one of Alaska's most unique ecosystems. The Point, as they call it, is where the Placer and Portage rivers meet the Turnagain Arm, creating a unique confluence of river, mountain, and sea. It's also the home of these whales, and as of this weekend, a new education center designed to help protect them.
I sit on the Cook Inlet Beluga Whale Recovery Implementation Task Force. A big part of that is education and outreach. So it's our job to share with guests who come and visit us, to share with students about Cook Inlet beluga whales so that we can all contribute to their conservation.
The Matson Ocean Education Center officially opened to the public Saturday, the culmination of many years of work, 7 in Gerbevats' case, with a concrete mission.
People protect what they love, and people will love what they understand. That is why this place matters. Because when a child sees a beluga for the first time, or a sea otter, or a bison, that affects them to their core.
The center will be open to the public daily, with naturalist-led programs and educational materials to peruse, all while basking in the splendor of the Turnagain Arm.
The location is honestly one of the coolest parts of this whole project. Standing at the point surrounded by the mountains and the water, you can witness some of the largest tidal variations in the world. You can also spot those iconic white arch of a surfacing Cook Inlet beluga whale and just really experience how alive the whole ecosystem really is.
That one's gonna punch me in the emotional gut. Getting to be part of a project like this is a highlight of my lifetime. I couldn't be more excited to have this space and all of these materials to help educate the public and students of Alaska about endangered Cook Inlet beluga whales.
Charlie Fellows, Alaska's news source.
Still ahead on the morning edition, Peace Officers Memorial Day was last week, and troopers and officials gathered in the interior to honor and remember those troopers that have given the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. We'll take a look at the ceremony when we return.
And still holding on to another wet week across the Gulf Coast region, more so near the Prince William Sound area. We will have more on that, but first at sunrise, 5:06 in Anchorage, 4:26 in Juneau. Those details as well as river breakup coming up for the break.
Welcome back in on this Monday morning with a quick check on the puppies at Denali National Park. Look how cute they are. Just playing around over there. Aaron, Saturday was a gorgeous day for some sunshine. It'd be nice to get some more of that this week.
We may see, a few stretches here and there this week where we could hold on to some of those sunshine breaks, but largely expecting those cloudy conditions to continue for the Gulf Coast region. We've also got those flood watches and warnings still in effect for parts of the state. This is the Buckland River update. Last week, we were seeing that bank-to-bank ice, a run of ice that was pushing through the Buckland River. This morning, you can see latest update. This is a video sent in from Dennis Jones, and we've got some flooding that has been occurring due to those ice jam out towards the Buckland River. Now, the good news is we're not seeing a flood warning out towards Buckland, so that is some of the good news for areas of western Alaska. But even though those rivers are beginning to open up, you'll still see that potential for additional runs of ice, which could cause additional concerns with those the ice jams. Along the Yukon, out towards Koyukuk, the water levels remaining steady, and then as you head out towards Galena, the river water levels did fall overnight to 124.1 feet, and then out towards Nulato, bank-to-bank ice running over the weekend. And we are going to get, again, to continue to hold on to more flood watches and warnings as additional ice jams pop up. There is a flood warning out towards Galena and Koyukuk until 10 p.m. this evening. The public reports continued minor flooding in the region as of 8 p.m. last night. And then, of course, we're seeing that breakup front, which has moved past Grayling. So we're still seeing some impacts from that flooding potential. So there's that flood watch as well as flood warning as you head through parts of western Alaska. Alaska. And then out towards the Seward Peninsula, at least western parts of the Seward Peninsula, a winter weather advisory remains in effect. Outside of those areas, we're not seeing any other alerts across the state. Those temperatures this morning, again, sitting in the 30s and the 40s for a good portion of Alaska. So still holding on to those chilly mornings. Those afternoons, though, we are warming back into the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And we can't rule out some isolated scattered showers across inland areas of south central this morning, but most of the day will remain dry. We're going to be watching our next storm system sweeping right up the Alaska Peninsula as we welcome in the overnight hours on into Tuesday. That will lead to more rain out towards Bristol Bay, and then you can see coastal areas of south central tapping into more of that rainfall as we welcome in your Tuesday. And then by Wednesday and Thursday, this is where we're going to see that better shot for rain to build into inland areas of south central as we watch another area of low pressure building north out of the Pacific Ocean. That's also going to bring widespread rain to southeast, where we could see up to 2 inches, if not more, of that rainfall accumulation. As that fizzles out, we've got another low building into the Aleutians as we close out this week and welcome in really the latter portion of this week into the weekend for coastal areas. So rainfall this week, or at least through the middle of the week. Heavy activity expected for coastal areas, inland locations, like we've been holding on to, fairly dry. However, Wednesday into Thursday will be our next best chance of seeing that rain, where we could hold on to some of that scattered potential. So wet weather remains for the coast. Inland areas holding on to just some isolated, if not scattered activity by Wednesday into Thursday. There's those daily highs holding right around 50 degrees, while overnight lows sit in the 40s. And you can see that chance for showers both Wednesday and Thursday.
Interior Alaska community members gathered last Thursday to recognize the peace officers that have been killed in the line of duty during Alaska's history, honoring their service. Alex Bengal was there to capture the ceremony.
Ready, aim, fire. Ready, aim, fire.
Since 1897, 72 law enforcement officers have been killed while serving, according to Captain Eric Spitzer with the Alaska State Troopers. Police officers, U.S. Marshals, state troopers, and more. The community gathering to pay tribute to the fallen, observing Peace Officers Memorial Day.
Your support strengthens our law enforcement community. Your presence here honors not only the fallen, but also their families and loved ones.
The names of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice were read out to the assembled crowd, each name accompanied by the ringing of a bell.
Deputy U.S. Marshal William C. Watts, U.S. Marshal Service, September 1st, 1897. Deputy U.S. Marshal James Mark Roman, U.S. Marshal Service, February 1st, 1898.
Retired Alaska State Trooper Jeff Hall speaking frankly about the toll the job can take, from taking a life to losing one's friends in the field.
If you get to the point where you can't handle it, go find somebody, go to your sergeant, go to your captain, go to whomever, and tell them that you need to take some time and try to kill all the demons that are bouncing around inside your head.
A wreath laid, the colors presented, and proclamations read from the governor and the mayors of Fairbanks, North Pole, and the Fairbanks North Star Borough. The event, first proclaimed by President John Kennedy in 1962, comes during National Police Week, Interior Alaska doing its part to honor those who gave their lives in service. Alex Bengal, Alaska's news source.
And don't forget, May marks our annual May No Child Go Hungry drive, a partnership between our Anchorage and Fairbanks stations and our local food banks. While the need is always present, it is particularly great in the summers when children are out of school. Learn more about our May No Child Go Hungry campaign by heading to our apps or websites.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.